And we're back with another episode of Nefashuu's Pokemon White Wedlocke Challenge. Aw yeah. I've been hankering to play some Generation 5 for the longest time, so we're here. And we're here with a Wedlocke Challenge. Now, let's very briefly go over the rules of engagement before we begin. So, firstly, what is a Wedlocke Challenge? A Wedlocke is a variant of the Nuzlocke Challenge, which, if you don't know, there are two main rules. First is that you can only catch the first encounter that you find on any route or area in the game. Secondly, if your Pokemon faints, it is considered deceased and must be released. And now, a Wedlocke Challenge is essentially a variant where, rather than being able to switch between your Pokemon at will, you have to pair them up, so they can only switch in battle between the active pair at the time that the battle starts. So that adds a whole crazy dynamic to this game. Now, I'm going to be doing something slightly different for this particular Wedlocke Challenge. Now, usually, you would group up your Pokemon by male and female. However, what we're going to be doing is something slightly different. We're going to be doing it by natures. So the nature of the Pokemon will determine the pairings. Now, the reason I'm kind of doing this is to get a load of crazy different pair types going. So we could have male-female, or we could have male-male, female-female, or genderless male, genderless female, or genderless. All sorts of crazy shenanigans going on. Now, how I'm going to do this is there are 25 natures in the game, and I'm going to link each nature to being one of 3 different types of nature. And these are offensive, defensive, and neutral. Now, an offensive nature will be any nature that raises either attack or special attack. Even if it lowers the other attacking stat, I will still consider it offensive. Also, an offensive stat will be the 2 natures that raise speed but lower either of the defensive stats. Now, conversely, being defensive means that you have to have a nature that raises defense or special defense. Again, even if it lowers the other defensive stat, I will still consider it so. And I'll also include the 2 speed natures, speed increasing natures, that lower attack or special attack. Now, there are 5 neutral natures which don't raise or lower anything, and these guys are pretty awesome because you can pair them with anything, with other neutrals, with offensive or defensive Pokemon. So, let's run through a super quick example. So say you start off, your starter Pokemon is an offensive type, which is pretty cool. And then the next thing you can counter is a defensive type. So those 2 get paired. Now, let's say your next Pokemon is another offensive Pokemon. Now, if your next Pokemon is also offensive, because one of the main differences of this is that you don't know what the nature is until you catch the Pokemon. So, if you end up in a situation, if you have an offensive Pokemon waiting to be paired and you catch another offensive Pokemon, they would each be separate, so they wouldn't be a pair until you find a partner for them. So you'd be stuck with 2 singletons, as it were, until your next Pokemon, if that is a defensive Pokemon, you can pair it, and then that would go to the first one that you caught. Now, if you get another offensive Pokemon, you would have to put it in the PC. The only way to pair up is with either a defensive nature or, in this case, a neutral nature would work too. So if the next thing's neutral, they could be paired with anything. So that would work out too. That's just a basic example. Probably loads of crazy other caveats with this. We'll basically see how it goes because I've never attempted this before. But we'll find out. There are a few other extra rules we'll be doing. We're going to be playing with an item limit, so each pair can use up to 3 items in battle, but no more. In any single battle, that is. And then I'm also going to play with Dupes clause, so I can't encounter... Well, if I encounter a Pokemon that I've already got before, it will be part of my Dupes clause, and I'm going to give myself up to 5 chances to get something new. If after the 5th Pokemon I get nothing new, then that is it over, and I get no encounter. Anyway, enough of the shenanigans. Let's get down to this game. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in part 1. Toodles.